Salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. We're just going to go ahead and cover the basics for today, but honestly, we need to have a sobering conversation. Right now, as you guys know, and I haven't made this video since a video since like everything just was extremely ugly and crashed about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Listen. There's a lot that's going on in the world. We're going to cover some of these things, and a lot of it has a lot to do with crypto and how it correlates to crypto. So first off, we got Bitcoin around 106. We got our fear and greed around 27 fear. Look, this is ugly. Honestly, October, we didn't have an October. Everyone's been calling it all kinds of names, Fucktober, whatever you want to call it. It's been disgusting. It's been nasty, and it's been bleeding red for a long time. We thought that we were going to have an altcoin season back in February and March, and ever since then, the crypto market just hasn't really taken off. Has not taken off. We have not had an altcoin season, and from a lot of people's from a lot of perspectives, we won't have an altcoin season. Now, people, I need to explain to you exactly what's going on, and then we're going to talk about some things as well. Right now, altcoin season 25. I really love this chart. I like how they shown it. We get a lot of information now from CoinMarketCap, average crypto RSI. Look at this, just everything just bleeding red, and it's not even a surprise. We got Zcash here. I don't know what the hell is going on with Zcash, but every once in a while we have certain projects that go up. I wonder if we click it, we understand what the news is. Let's click on this. I've never actually clicked on any of this. ZK's third halving is scheduled for November 2025, reducing block rewards 1 point. Okay, so that's what's happening with Zcash. Okay, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. So using this CoinMarketCap AI is pretty actually cool. I like it. I would do it for other projects. Maybe I'll do it at the end of the video, but not to bore. I don't want to bore you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into what's happening, especially here in the United States of America. I want to explain some things to you guys and have a sobering conversation about some of these things here. So here in the United States, obviously the government has been shut down. I think it's been 34 days. And recently, now the SNAP benefits, for some of you guys that don't know what SNAP is, it's more like it's benefits to help put food on the table for the underprivileged. And I hate that I said it that way, but for low income families. There we go. That's better. So we're gonna read this, and all of this is going to connect. So just kind of stay with me for a second here. It says the decision comes after 2 federal judges ruled that freezing payments for the country's biggest anti-hunger program is unlawful. I want you guys to listen to this. The decision comes, and then, by the way, basically the SNAP benefits will restart, but it will be half by normal payment. And it was 2 federal judges stated that it was unlawful. I really want you guys to kind of like read in between the lines here. The decision comes after 2 federal judges ruled that freezing payments for the country's biggest anti-hunger program is unlawful. Even as the money ran out this weekend for the 42 million people who were on SNAP to put food on the table. The government's response is part of the case in Rhode Island. The Trump administration had until Monday to tell federal judges plans to restore funding for SNAP amidst the ongoing federal government shutdown. The administration warns there could be lengthy delays before benefits get into the hands of low-income families who depend on SNAP to put food on the table. About 1 in 8 U.S. residents get an average of $187 a month per person in SNAP, which stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Nearly 39% of recipients are children and adolescents under 18, according to the Department of Agriculture, which administers the program. So, did you guys hear what they said? They said that the biggest freezing payments for the biggest anti-hunger program is unlawful. Does that mean that it is unlawful to go hungry? Meaning that it is against the law for human beings to starve. By the way, we all know that the people who are actually receiving the benefits are not starving. That's a different conversation for another day. But we also know that a lot of kids depend on their parents, regardless of how educated or uneducated they may be, for SNAP benefits. I am personally, when I was a child, I was a recipient of SNAP benefits. And so my mom was able to put food in the house, and there was plenty of food. Now, I grew up thinking, okay, well, I need to, by the way, I'm getting into crypto, so just don't think this is just some kind of political thing here. When I got older and I got married early at the age of 20, and I worked hard, and I had one job. I remember I had lost my job, and I was working day labor, and I tried to apply for food stamps. They wouldn't give it to me. I was the sole provider for my family with my child. I could not find a job, and once I eventually did, I had 2 jobs. Well, I had one job, and then I had one job being, a day laborer. And the government denied my ability to be able to pay to feed my family. So basically, the government said, "Fuck you." And there was one day that I came home. I rode my bike. I lived in a historic black neighborhood called Goldsboro in Sanford. I don't mind telling you guys, Sanford, Florida. And I rode my bike home and from the day labor, and I had a check in my hand, and I opened the door, and my daughter was crying. Now I have a daughter. She's our first daughter. She has Down syndrome, and she didn't know how to talk, but we taught her a little bit of sign language. At this point, she's like a year and a half, 2 years old, and she was like, she was crying. I'm like, "Why is she crying?" And my wife said, "She has no food on the table." She has no food on the table. She has no food in the house. Excuse me. And I'm like, "Have no food in the house? Like, seriously?" And so I took that paycheck, and I felt bad. Like, honestly, tears was rolling down my eyes because I felt like I could not take care of my family, and I was working hard to take care of my family. And it hurt me to my gut, and I rode my bike immediately to the store. I think it was an Aldi's. As a matter of fact, I know it was an Aldi's, and it was about a good, mile and a half. I got some milk. I got some cereal. Back in, when you don't have food on the table, you kind of have a hard time, like you don't try to eat healthy. You try to get quantity over quality. So I got some cream of wheat, oatmeal, grits, milk, and I carried those things. And by the way, if you guys are asking how did I cash the check, back in the day, you could actually cash the check at a gas station. Now, why am I talking to you guys, telling you guys about this story? The problem that we have here in America is that capitalism just does not work. You can easily, yes, some of these young guys, they don't want to work. And some people don't want to work. It's the people that are working their fucking ass off that are not receiving benefits, that can't receive benefits. But people who don't do a goddamn thing in society, it is unlawful for them to go hungry. And I sound like a bitter old man, but to be honest with you, the way our system works, it has created me to be a little bit bitter. Because why the fuck do I have to sit here and work so fucking hard? By the way, this is not a channel for children. But at the same time, someone who didn't work or doesn't work had the ability to get a bunch of food stamps and put food on the table. By the way, you talk to anybody that knows me, I was and still is an extremely responsible. I was extremely responsible as a 20-year-old. Me and my wife, we said, you know what, we're going to, the money that I brought in, I actually paid for the rent and the electricity and water. And I didn't have hardly any money left for anything else. And so when I look at the way society is right now, and the way, now I'm not saying that people should starve. I'm saying that we don't have a proper solution to food. We don't have a proper solution because the Republicans, and I'm going to bring politics in this. The Republicans say, well, you know what, you Democrats, you young guys should get off your asses and work. And work for what? How much money can I actually make to put food on my fucking table for my family? And by the way, the how much money I actually make is not even enough. Oh, and by the way, but at that time, the minimum wage was like around $6. No, I think it was $5. And it risen up to $7. I was really excited about that. But you guys see my point in talking about this. What the actual fuck is happening in our society right now? Our society is crumbling. And yes, for me, I don't think that people should starve. I think that people should have an opportunity to be able to take care of their family. People who work should be able to take care of their family. But here's the thing. We can't discern, society can't discern from fucking lazy assholes who don't want to work from guys like myself who bust their fucking ass to take care of their family and can't get benefits. Because there's a lot of people out there that are busting their asses trying to work hard and they're not getting anything. But oh, lo and behold, it is a crime to starve and go hungry. Let me tell you guys something. This is a load of bullshit. Now let's transition this and let's put this into perspective, because I want you guys to understand that this is what our economy is like right now, and this is why we are seeing the markets the way it is right now. Sorry, let's go back here. This is why we're seeing the market so red right now. People, the energy, and I broke it down before. the energy that we bring in, the energy, there's a technical term for it, and I apologize if you don't know it, but the more work we put in, the less power that our money or fiat currency actually gives us. So the value of our energy that we're putting in for our time is become less and less and less. And in order to get more, we either have to work more or we have to work harder. And by the way, working smarter is, we can all have this whole, oh, you just work smarter, not harder. Well, I'm sorry, but the way the economy works and the way that capitalism works is that there are way too many fucking losers. You can't discern between the people who are working hard and the people and the lazy ass motherfuckers that are just out there just getting a paycheck and just doing nothing for society, have done nothing for society. And by the way, at the same time, there's a lot of people out there that haven't done excuse me, anything for society, but you're trying to tell me that our veterans who are out there working, who can possibly lose their life and die, won't be receiving money so that they can take care of their family? Let me tell you something. Our society is all screwed up in all sorts of ways. Pisses me off, actually. So here in America, we look at this, we all know that this is capital manipulation. Now, how do I know this is manipulation? Well, that's easy. That's simple, right? So first off, okay, so we have the SNAP benefits. Everybody's going crazy over the SNAP benefits, right? But there's actual reason why people are like, and it may sound like I'm talking from two sides of my mouth, but I'm being fair. There are people who are like, I'm sorry, but the government spends like a drunken sailor at a fucking titty bar. And what? I can't receive my SNAP benefits? So people are really upset with the way society is run and our priorities, because people, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and it may sound like I'm talking about out of both sides of my mouth, but honestly, the way I see it, I'm just looking at the big picture here. It's hard to find a job. It's hard to find good income. Even if you're intelligent and extremely intelligent, it's hard. And everybody can't find a job. And everyone can't work. And if your idea is, well, you just go into be a plumber or an electrician. Oh, and that's your problem that you didn't decide that you want to go into those career fields. People are losing their way of life. Now, is that a lot of that self-inflicted? You guys know how I say, yeah, a lot of it self-inflicted. But let me tell you something. For me, when I was growing up, when I was a young adult in my 20s, barely married, it wasn't self-inflicted. It was the only thing I could do to survive, and I had to work, and it wasn't even enough. So let's just throw out this whole theory that just because you work, that you're supposed to that you're able to take care of your family. And people are like, oh, well, you just do your basic needs and you'll be perfectly fine. How many people in America are just doing their basic needs? Shelter, food, water, electric, and that's it. Like that's all that they're doing. No, there's a whole lot that you have to do, right? And when you're working, you have a car, you have to pay for insurance, you have a family, and then they have to pay for insurance, and that's not even going to healthcare, right? So let's move forward here. How do I know that this is manipulation? Simple. It says right here, Bitcoin, and I'll scroll up to give you guys the title, but it says Bitcoin is once again under pressure after the market saw the first red October since 2018. With Bitcoin price falling, broader crypto market 17% from its all-time highs as we enter November. The move across digital assets has soured. While some investors view the recent dip as a healthy correction, others warn that the outlook is flashing red, suggesting a more resounding crash may be on the horizon. So is the crypto market headed for another bull run? We asked ChatGPT to weigh in. Oh, this is not the article that I thought it was. Excuse me, you guys. I think I messed up. It says analysts warn if crypto cap falls below 3.55 trillion and confirmed the end of the bullish cycle. This is all about ChatGPT. This is, oh yeah. This is the article, but I got it out of order. I apologize, you guys. So my bad of how I wanted to talk about it. So we're supposedly everything is going down. Tom Lee's Bitmine Immersion acquires additional $300 million in Ether, bringing holdings to 13.7 billion. I've told you guys before, and I've said this in a very, very long video when I told you about what's happening. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And we can thank artificial intelligence for that. It is hard, but not for the entirety. It's not to thank artificial intelligence for the entirety of what's happening here, because it's always been happening. And for some of you guys who were, oh my God, I can't wait for companies and organizations, and even me a little bit, was like, oh man, they're going to start using XRP for this and Ethereum for this and doing certain things and using proper different distributed ledger technologies for finance and stuff. It has not happened. It has not come into fruition. And let me tell you guys something. If the stock market can be manipulated, what do you guys think that the crypto space with just this measly little itty bitty 3.56 trillion market cap can do? Right? Heavy manipulation. And a lot of people, they know a lot of people are done. That's what I think a lot of people know for a fact. After this bull run, whenever we have another bull run, we may not have another bull run for another 4 years. I swear to fucking God, if we don't have a bull run in the next 4 years, crypto can kiss its ass goodbye, especially here in the United States of America. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what catalyst is going to stop this from making this worse, because there's ultimate greed. And I've stated this in my and hopefully, guess what, you guys, I'm getting my phone fixed, so I might have my my X account. But on my X account, my first thing I said, out of first world countries in the last 200 years, first world, second world, no matter what country, the last 200 years, there has not been a solid country to overcome greed, to solve the issue and problem of greed. It's disgusting. And people are frustrated and people are mad, as they should be. And now we have, this is what I was saying about the whole crypto. While everything is crashing, we got, Tom Lee and a lot of other rich people just buying up the dip, quote unquote, buying up the dip. They are taking all of the crypto, and eventually they're gonna release it. They're gonna release it. And when they release the hounds, when they release the dogs, crypto is going to take off. It's going to go to unbelievable highs. And some people are waiting for 3 weeks or 4 weeks of a crypto bull run, and then they're out. People are frustrated that these projects have not come into fruition of and being able to do the things that they need to do. It's embarrassing. So, set 8 to 10. A lot of people, it's been 8 to 10 years of holding on to certain crypto projects. 7 or 8 if you're into Holochain or HOT and you bought HOT. Even longer for XRP. But XRP holders, if you've been holding since XRP since then, you're in good shape. Because I remember when XRP was 1 cent. I remember when Cardano was 1 cent and 3 cents and 2 cents. I remember all of those days. So, I swear, man. Now, let's jump into this, because this is something that I'm trying to wrap my head around. So why does this have something to do with cryptocurrency, because this all leads to universal basic income, and universal basic income is going to happen. Look, people, I am telling you, the system will fall and universal basic income will be the only answer. And I don't know how good of an answer. I don't know where that value is going to be, because yeah, you can have universal basic income for some, like for fiat currency, but where is that value actually being held? That's the problem. And where and how do you handle universal basic income in a capitalist society in which most people are going to lose? New Orleans, this concerns me. New Orleans hopes giving young people a guaranteed monthly income can break the cycle of poverty. Education is important, people. Being educated is extremely important. Here it says, I want to kind of read this to you guys. New Orleans has launched a first of its kind program to provide monthly payments to teens as young as 16 years old. For the next 10 months, 125 participants ages 16 to 24 will get $350 a month with no strings attached as part of a new guaranteed income program. Now, we all know that this isn't a lot of people. Participants can spend the money any way they like. And city officials hope it will help them understand the needs of young people experiencing poverty, income inequality, a group often overlooked by society safety nets. There's a lot of people being overlooked by society safety nets, a lot of people being taken advantage of, and that's from middle class on down. At some point, there's going to be a breaking point for everyone. For middle class and lower class, for working class, at some point, there's going to be a breaking point. And guess what? It's going to be ugly. And I think, honestly, within the next 2 years, shit's going to fall apart. Shit is about to hit the fan. And for us millennials, and I'm a millennial, by the way, I'm an older millennial, but I'm a millennial, and we have been through so much. Reason why I joined the military 2008, economy crashed. Nobody was coming in. I was a server, and then I was a day laborer. And one day I remember waking up in the morning at 4 o'clock, because you got to get there to the building early. And by the way, oh my God, I have so many stories, but I got to keep it simple. And I would wait 2 hours. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I would get there around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I would wait 2 hours for people, and we'd all be in line for people to find a job, and for people who are looking for workers, for companies and organizations who are looking for workers. And I just be there, and I be there. I get like a a number, but I noticed a lot of people were coming in after me, and they would just get random jobs. Not that because you can always be requested, but they were getting different jobs. And by the way, I come there very often. I was there almost every day to get some extra money, and a lot of times I'd be skipped. So I'm gonna put it this way, even at the lower levels, even in the within the poor, it's a what's the word? What's the saying, you guys? You guys know it. Shark eat shark world out there, whatever it is, wherever it's called. But we're destroying ourselves. We're destroying each other. I can't remember that quote, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it says the plan is to lift up some 6,820 opportunity youth or young people disconnected from work or school despite graduating high school. If we want, it says, if we want to save the city, it's about investing in our young people, filling in the gaps where we know resources are needed so that we can give them a path to making better decisions that will impact all of our lives. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell, why does that name sound familiar? Said in a news conference Tuesday in December when the mayor first announced power. She said in a statement that many residents needed urgent help with basic needs. Nothing helps a struggling family like money in the pocket, and nowhere is that more apparent than among Black Americans, who are more likely to be unemployed but less likely to get unemployment benefits, especially if you're fucking working. I'm telling you that right now. Now, let me see here. While critics of these social services programs call them a handout, that's what it is, in part because there are no work requirements, advocates point to research that supports direct cash payments as the most effective way to fight poverty. In part because people can direct it towards what they need with fewer bureaucratic hurdles and without drawing from multiple kinds of assistance programs. Now, I want you guys to listen to this. The first thing that Jared Franklin, 20, bought was food. He got his first check along the other program participants on April 29th. He still thinks it's too good to be true. No one ever gave me free money other than my parents. There's always a catch. Well, with me, it was always, I didn't even ask my parents for money because the catch was way too much, said Franklin, who lives with his parents and has struggled to find a steady job since graduating high school in 2019. He says, when I first got it, I took some friends out to get food. When I first got it, I took some friends out to get food. And then I bought some food and other things for the house. And I paid my phone bill. It was a huge help. I am always worried about not being able to pay a bill and not knowing where I'm going to get the money from or who was going to step up to help me. Motherfucker, I wish there was a goddamn person in my life to give me anything. And I mean fucking anything. No, you know what? I take that back. On Thanksgiving, I was a car salesman, not a car salesman. I was selling solar panels, and there was a lady in Gainesville. I had very little food in the house, and I had definitely no food for Thanksgiving. And this lady, I wish I can go back in time so I can know exactly who she was. But this lady, actually, I didn't make the sale. I did my whole spiel about, solar panels and different things like that. And she sent me home with a gigantic box of food and a Thanksgiving turkey. Let me tell you guys something. This is no joke. I cried on my way home. Now, I was working and I received something from someone and I cried on the way home because I was able to put food on my table. Let me tell you guys something. I am really emotional about all of these things because I know what the struggle is. But when I see things like this, when I first got it, I took some friends out to get food. First, as I stated before, education is extremely important. If the first thing on your mind is to take some friends out to get food, there's a fucking problem. And then I bought some food and other things for the house, and I paid my phone bill. Let me tell you guys something. If you're at the age of fucking 20 years old, and by the way, I know many of you guys are like, man, why is he cursing so much? Oh my God. Well, I'm going to tell you to get the fuck over it because I'm tired. Let me tell you something. Look at this society. Look at where we are. This is where we are. And our society is going to get to the point to where it's going to get ugly because when you start, yes, it says right here, critics of this social program call them handouts. That's exactly what it is. But when you when you have a handout, you need to give people a handout to everybody. Not, oh, we're just going to help you with cutting your taxes. You don't have to pay much in taxes. Even if you did all of that shit, it's not going to help. We have a value problem. We have a problem in our society, in the United States of America, of actually understanding and discerning how to create a, a society in which you have value, and you can put that value that you have into creating a better society and a better community for your family and your country, your city, your state, and your country, right? I have a question. We may have, this may be a handout, but what else are they going to do? It is important. I want everyone to understand this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think that all human beings, I think a lot of human beings want, I think a lot of human beings want to feel valued. I think a lot of human beings don't actually mind working. But it's becoming less and less. And it's because when you're dependent on a government, when you're dependent on certain things, I get it. And you're gonna do whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Some of these people, some of these kids, they're like, you know what? And I know the game. I know the game. So for some of you guys who don't understand, I understand how to make money in the streets. And the mentality is I can make a whole lot more than $350. And by the way, what if I go to jail? Okay, so what? By the way, you're paying even more. You put people in jail because they're selling drugs. That's the risk. I get to eat, I get to sleep, I get to drink, I get to lift weights, I get to educate myself. And some people who go in the prisons, it's not. Of course, we don't want that. Nobody wants that, but some people don't mind it, and some kids don't mind actually. And I have been at I worked for a level 8, what do you call those things? Juvenile detention center, and some kids, they are well better off just being locked up. That's sad to hear, but that's the truth. We have a leadership problem. We have a problem within our across the world, by the way, because everyone's trying to get to the United States, and I understand some of you guys, some of you guys are from different countries, and some of you hear my complaints about certain things and be like, "Oh man, that ain't nothing." And I can guarantee you, there are a lot of people out there in other countries who have definitely had it worse than I have ever or could ever have. I get it. I really do. So, if you're asking yourself why the crypto market looks like this, if you're asking yourself why the manipulation, is complete greed. Our government is spending money like a drunken sailor. Our government is having a hard time taking care of the people that need to be taken care of. And a lot of times, in these cases, some of them take care of people who, honestly, other people deserve it better. It's hard to tell. There's no discernment. So we put people under a blank slate. We put people under the same umbrella, and we say, well, all black people this, we're all white people this, we're all, Spanish people this, or Asian people this, or all Europeans this. It's a problem. It is a problem. I have struggled a lot in my life, and there are very few people No, there has been no people to give me any money. Money? No, 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 no. There's been some people who have helped me. My car broke down. They stopped. Humans are nice. Some humans are good. They're good people. They drive me to my work. They give me a box of food. I'll never forget that lady. Look, people, the world is getting crazy. It's absolutely getting insane. So when we look at crypto and we see all of these prices, just know, here's what's going to happen. You're going to jump in the crypto market. Well, some people are going to jump in the crypto market when they see that it's going up. They'll see that it's going up 15, 20%. What's when all of these coins and tokens are going up 15 to 20% on daily. Not 7 days, daily. And money starts rolling in. What are people going to do with that? I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. The market's going to, if in November we get any kind of reversal, and if December we get a full-fledged bull run where people just throwing money in, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. They're going to buy extravagant bullshit, and then we're going to end up in the same place all over again. They're going to pay capital gains taxes. They're going to give a lot of money to the government. Some people will be responsible, like myself, pay off my debt, move forward with life. I've struggled a lot in my life, still struggling. Not as much as other people, obviously not near as much. I'm good. And I'm not struggling. I'm not struggling. So I'm good. But my point is that you guys know that from my divorce, from living in my car, from getting my license suspended, from getting arrested for some bullshit, shooting baskets. This is the world we live in. I have lived with understanding the reality of the world. I need you guys to understand, some of my subscribers, I need you to understand this is the reality of society. This is the reality of the world. And it won't end. It's going to continue to go in this direction until there's a different system. And by the way, better technology doesn't mean that the system will be adopted. Things that make sense doesn't mean, if it makes sense, it doesn't mean that it's going to be, there's going to be a reversal. Something is going to break soon. I hope you guys are ready. Right now, yeah, there's a lot of fear and greed. This happens all the time. I'm not worried about that. But this society, this crypto community, a lot of things about crypto, this is sad. I want you guys to be ready. Position yourselves the best way you can. And for some of you guys on X that are arguing about, where value is and mutual credit and all this other good stuff, man, fuck that. People are trying to put food on their table. People are trying to live. The people who are actually working are actually struggling more than the people who don't have anything. Because a lot of people who don't have anything are surviving off of others, and especially in their families. That's how that works. All right, you guys, I'm ending it right there. As I always say, please do your own research, do your own research. But last but not least, above all else, man, this world is crazy. Be safe out there. Bye, you guys.